As part of the Illinois broker curriculum, you will need to know about reciprocity. Reciprocity is a process whereby a person is licensed in one state, and because of that reciprocity agreement, it's easier for them to be licensed in a different state. So two states have to have some sort of agreement, and that makes it easier for people who are licensed in one state to be licensed in the other, and vice versa. In this video, we'll talk about what you need to know for the exam as it relates to reciprocity. I'll also talk briefly about what you will also need to know if you choose to be licensed in another state that we have reciprocity with. Or maybe we don't have reciprocity with. So grab a notebook, grab something to write with, and let's get started. Hi, I am Noni, your real estate tutoress. I am a licensed broker here in Illinois as well as a licensed instructor. On this channel, I bring you the best tips and tools to getting your real estate license. I also answer any questions you may have about the process. If you're new here, welcome, and do consider subscribing. Since our licenses are state specific, if you're licensed in one state and you want to practice in a different state, you will also need to be licensed in that state. With reciprocity, it makes it easier to obtain that license. So you're licensed in Illinois, you want to be licensed somewhere else, and vice versa. Someone who is licensed somewhere else trying to be licensed here in Illinois. So let's talk about what's required if you are licensed in a different state and wish to be licensed in Illinois through reciprocity. First things first, you must be licensed in your home state. Your home state's minimum requirements for licensing should be similar to Illinois' minimum requirements or greater than Illinois' minimum requirements. You have to have been licensed in your home state for at least 2 years. Illinois needs to have a reciprocity agreement with your home state. They will also ask you for proof that you are licensed in your home state and that your license is in good standing. They also want to make sure that there are no complaints pending against your license. Illinois requires that you take an exam that is specific to the licensing laws, and once you pass that exam, you will then get your license. So it's somewhat easier than having to go through the whole process of getting your license from scratch. As of the recording of this video, so July 2022, these are the states that Illinois has reciprocity with: Colorado, Connecticut, Florida, Georgia, Indiana, Iowa, Nebraska, and Wisconsin. Always check the IDFBR website for the most recent updates on reciprocity. Once you get that non-resident license to practice in Illinois, that license is valid for as long as Illinois still has reciprocity with your home state. If you choose to move to Illinois, then you don't need to take any other exam. They will transfer your non-resident license and make it a resident license. For the broker examination, they tend to not ask you specifically what states that we have reciprocity with. So I wouldn't recommend memorizing the states we have reciprocity with, because like I said, they recommend that you check their website for the most recent updates, because it could change if the laws in those states change and then they don't renew the reciprocity agreement. So don't worry about memorizing the states. Know the requirements. So know that you have to be licensed for at least 2 years. Know that the state must have reciprocity agreement with Illinois. Your license must be in good standing. You take the state-specific licensing exam, right, just for Illinois state, and then you pass, you apply for your license, and you get it. So know the requirements, so don't worry about memorizing the states that we have reciprocity with. The process is pretty simple, and same thing applies if you're licensed in Illinois and you want to be licensed in one of the states I mentioned that we have reciprocity with. So you must be licensed in Illinois for at least 2 years, and then you check to see what the other requirements are for that state. Some states require an exam, some do not, so just check to make sure before you go ahead to apply. In the description below, I have put links for all of the states that we have reciprocity with. As of today, this is the most current information, so you can go through and look to see what their requirements are if you choose to be licensed in those states as well. If your state does not have a reciprocity agreement with Illinois, or if you're going to a state that doesn't have reciprocity agreement with Illinois, you would then just take the entire program like you were a new agent starting from scratch. So whatever the requirements are for people who are not licensed, you would have to go through all of that to obtain your license in that state. If you want to know what's required to be licensed in Illinois, I have a video that I'll link to the end of this one, and you can continue onto that to understand what's required to be licensed here in Illinois. If you haven't already done so, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel. Let me know in the comments if you have additional questions about getting your real estate license here in Illinois. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.